In the ever-evolving landscape of the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers face a critical moment as they navigate the fallout from the devastating news of Nick Bosa's torn ACL for the 2025 season. Fans, where are you watching from? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this situation stirs a whirlwind of emotions and speculation that we need to unpack. Losing Bosa is not just a blow to the 49ers defense. It's a seismic shockwave that ripples through the entire organization. For the third time in his career, Bosa has suffered an ACL tear twice in the same knee. The numbers tell a grim story. He has experienced more ACL tears than first-team All-Pro selections since being drafted. It's almost unfathomable for a player of his elite caliber, and the fact that this injury has become a recurring theme raises serious questions about his future and the team's defensive strategy moving forward. The emotional toll of such injuries on athletes cannot be overstated. Bosa himself admitted that the initial impact of this latest setback hit him hard. It was rough early on. He reflected during week 1 of OTAs. You just want to be able to play, especially how good things were going for the defense. And me personally, I felt that I was at a pretty high level to start the year. The 49ers were riding high, securing wins, and looking like strong contenders. Bosa was poised to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And then, just like that, it all came crashing down in week 3 as he suffered a devastating injury. Imagine the whirlwind of emotions, a sense of euphoria quickly replaced by despair. It's a cruel twist of fate, akin to someone pulling a lever on a trapdoor beneath you. The mental battle athletes face after such injuries is immense. Many wonder if they will ever return to their previous form. And while Bosa initially grappled with thoughts of quitting, he has since found clarity and resolve. "I've never doubted that I could get back to where I am," he asserted, demonstrating a resilience that resonates deeply with fans. He recognizes the advancements in sports medicine and rehabilitation, emphasizing the difference between his experience and that of previous generations. As we look ahead, Bosa's projected timeline for recovery points to a hopeful return by week 1 of the regular season. The prospect of seeing him back on the field, ready to wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks, is a joyous occasion not just for him, but for the entire 49ers organization and its fans. However, we must remain cautious. Will he be able to recapture the form that made him a cornerstone of the defense? The stakes are high, and the pressure will be on him to perform. The 49ers are at a critical juncture, and while they brace for Bosa's return, the implications of his injury extend far beyond the field. The team's defensive cohesion, playoff aspirations, and even their identity may hinge on how well Bosa can rebound. As the organization looks to navigate this complex situation, one thing is certain. The fan base will be watching closely, hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. Now, as we transition to our next piece of news, the anticipation surrounding the 49ers continues to build, and the questions remain. How will this injury impact the team's strategy, and what moves might the front office consider as they look to solidify their roster? In a surprising twist, the San Francisco 49ers have traded linebacker Dee Winters to the Dallas Cowboys for a 5th-round pick. This move has sent shockwaves through the fan base, and it raises eyebrows given that Winters was a starter last season. While he may not have been a standout star, he performed adequately under challenging circumstances. Yet, with the signing of Dre Greenlaw, it became increasingly clear that Winters' days in San Francisco were numbered. Let's be real, the 49ers weren't going to keep Winters on the sidelines after he started all season. That kind of arrangement would surely have caused friction in the locker room, where Winters was well-loved and respected. Head coach Kyle Shanahan even acknowledged the organization's affection for Winters, indicating that they had seriously considered keeping him. However, the reality of the roster and future planning made the decision inevitable. Shanahan elaborated on the trade, stating, "We would have loved to keep Dee. We also just looked at our overall roster when you look 1 to 2 years out. Also knowing the number of unrestricted free agents we have, the number of guys that we do feel can make this team at linebacker, the thought that we were going to add linebackers in the draft, and it's hard to stockpile players." The crux of the matter lies in the long-term strategy for the team. The 49ers are in a position where they must think ahead, recognizing that they can't hoard talent without considering future contracts and roster spots. Trading Winters was not just a decision based on current performance, but rather a calculated move for the future. Shanahan summed it up well. When you can add a draft pick and add a younger guy, when you might be losing someone the next year, sometimes you got to make tough decisions like that can possibly help you in the future. This is a clear indication that the 49ers are not just focused on the present, but are also strategizing for sustained success in the years to come. The decision to trade Winters was undoubtedly a wise one. It may have been emotionally difficult given the affection the team has for him and the contributions he made last season. However, when the organization states that they had no choice, it reflects the difficult realities of managing an NFL roster. Let's not kid ourselves. Extending Winters this offseason would have been a stretch for the 49ers, especially with the looming cap hits that are about to hit the books. Even if Winters had a stellar season in 2026, the financial landscape wouldn't have allowed for his retention. By trading him now, the 49ers have ensured they receive something of value rather than losing him for nothing when the contract expires. As fans, we have to appreciate the tough decisions that come with managing a competitive roster. The organization is making moves that are strategic, not just emotional, and it's essential to understand that while we may love individual players, the long-term health of the team must come first. Now, as we transition to the next segment, the implications of this trade will ripple through the 49ers linebacker core and their overall strategy moving forward. What does this mean for the younger talent on the roster? What should we expect in the draft? These questions loom large as we continue to dissect the 49ers' moves in this critical offseason.
The whispers around the San Francisco 49ers organization are growing louder, and they center around one intriguing figure, Mac Jones. Yes, the same Mac Jones who stepped into an unexpected role last season and arguably saved the 49ers campaign. It's a narrative that many fans might have brushed aside at the start of the 2025 season, but the truth is undeniable. He played a pivotal role during a critical time. Starting quarterback Brock Purdy's injury woes forced him to sit out 8 games, and in those moments, it was Jones who took the reins. Going 5-3 as a starter, he showcased not just skill but also a remarkable resilience and competitive spirit that earned him respect from both teammates and fans. This isn't just a feel-good story, it's a testament to his ability when put to the test. Recently, Mo Moton of Bleacher Report released his rankings of backup quarterbacks based on their trade value, and to no one's surprise, Jones topped the list. At just 27 years old, he is right in the thick of his prime, and his performance last season as Purdy's fill-in solidified his standing. In 11 games, with 8 starts, he amassed 2,151 passing yards, threw 13 touchdowns against only 6 interceptions, and recorded an impressive 69.6% completion rate. Perhaps most notably, he led the 49ers to a thrilling overtime victory against the Los Angeles Rams, proving his mettle on a big stage. However, this brings us to a critical discussion point, the potential trade value of Jones. Jeff Howe from The Athletic speculates that the 49ers could command a first-round pick for him. While that may seem ambitious for a player who has already donned 3 different uniforms in as many years, the evidence suggests he could be a legitimate starter based on his performance in San Francisco. And let's give credit where it's due. Head coach Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme has certainly helped Jones shine. Looking at his entire career, Jones has demonstrated flashes of brilliance, dating back to his Pro Bowl rookie season with the New England Patriots. Across 5 seasons, he has thrown for 67 touchdowns and 50 interceptions, maintaining a 66.5% completion rate. Given Purdy's injury history, the 49ers hold a strong bargaining chip in Jones, and they should leverage that in trade discussions. While the speculation of a second-round pick seems more realistic, Moton estimates Jones' trade value could be a second-rounder in 2027. Shanahan, however, may not be inclined to deal him, especially if he sees Jones as a critical backup who can keep the team competitive during any potential absences from Purdy. The question that lingers is this: is Jones more valuable as a reliable backup for a Super Bowl run, or as a trade asset that could yield significant draft capital for the future? In the immediate term, especially looking at the 2026 season, keeping Jones around seems to be a wise choice. The 49ers need a solid backup who can step in and lead the team during critical moments. However, with an eye on long-term strategy, trading him for a high draft pick could be the smarter play, setting the franchise up for sustained success. Ultimately, if Jones can help guide the team through a rough patch and potentially lead them to a Super Bowl victory, his value transcends any draft pick. In this game, it's often about the here and now, and having a player like Jones in the mix could be the difference between a good season and a championship run. As we wrap up this discussion, I want to hear from you, 49ers fans. Where are you watching from, and what are your thoughts on Mac Jones' future with the team? Should the 49ers hold on to him or consider trading him for future assets? Leave your opinions in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on all things related to the San Francisco 49ers, be sure to subscribe for more insights and analysis. Let's keep the conversation going.